What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mantle Motivations, episode 2. This is a special episode. You all are getting to meet my wife, Mrs. Mantle Motivation. Tell about your name, babe.
Queer is my name.
That's right. So this episode we're gonna talk about us, our relationship, how we met, and then we're gonna also talk about not just how we met, but how we stayed together. That's the most important part. So we'll give you a little bit of backstory on us. And actually, I'm gonna let her tell the story. But just real quick, want to let y'all know we have been together for 10.5 years, and been married for 5.5. Been through a lot, ups and downs and everything. My bad, I'm messing with the plastic. So she gonna do that like throughout the whole podcast. But anyway, we do have a little special setup today. We have some of our best conversations, pillow talking when we're in the car, on drives, when I'm driving and she passenger riding, and when we're eating. So we got us a little breakfast spread today. Did a quick pickup, went to IHOP, got some food, and yeah. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna be eating and talking. You ready?
Sure.
Mental motivations. Let's go. Episode 2. All right. So go ahead and tell them about how we got started, how we met, where we met, and yeah. While I go ahead and unbox my little food here.
Can you say great?
My little breakfast. Oh yeah, come on, let's do it. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food. We receive you for the nourishment of our bodies and the edification of our souls. We ask you to bless the hands that prepared it and the mouths to feed. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen.
Ah,
Quick disclaimer. I'm
I'm
really gonna eat my food during this process.
We
Cool.
both are.
Cool. So how I met her. Picture it. Sicily, 1926. I was on the west side of Chicago, and I saw this girl standing on the side of the road, panhandling water.
I was a water girl.
Yeah. Panhandling water bottles, and I was like, "Girl, here's $1. Keep the water because it didn't look clean."
And then when I say, give me your number.
Yeah.
Girl, bad.
Nah, seriously, we was back in Chicago, and we both had applied for a position for a correctional residential counselor.
Correctional residence officer. Yeah. Go ahead.
A correctional resident counselor at this location that houses inmates for the state of Illinois. So we both had applied, and then little fun fact, your girl got on first. Even though both of us applied at the same time and we both interviewed at the same time, that's how I saw her in the interview. She was in there flexing her little muscles about some stuff, but I'm gonna let her be great. But anyway, so I got the position first.
Congratulations.
After getting the position, either a month or 2 later, I don't really remember the exact number, Dominique started working there, and they made me her trainer because I'm just that advanced. They made me her trainer, and so
they were extremely limited on trainers, and I got stuck with her.
I was the best that ever done it. Let's be clear. But anyway, they made me her trainer, and when she first got on, she was very humble. And
you need help?
I do.
Because you been messing with this for a minute.
They made me her trainer, and because I didn't want that open. That's what I was trying to keep. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
They made me her trainer, and when they made me her trainer, she was extremely humble. She came in there and she was eager to learn a job, right? So in that process, I taught her. And she used to pay a lot of compliments. I mean, look at me. But after a while, her and a few other of my coworkers started competing for my attention. By competing, I mean they was going out of their way to bring me items, do little certain things for me, and things like that.
Interjection, and I'm probably gonna do this a lot. Just to let y'all know, we work night shift. So with us working night shift, I think it was like, I don't know, 10 to 6 or 11:07. We was doing anything to try to stay awake. So we had this ice machine in the cafeteria back then. She loved chewing on ice. This was like the hospital ice, the crushed ice. And
I was iron deficient, and I didn't know no better.
She much better now, thank God. And then I was one of the favorites, so they used to let me go and run to Dunkin' Donuts and get coffee. Me and being one other girl, they used to let us run and take the car, either take our own cars, run to Dunkin' Donuts or run wherever else and pick up food and get coffee and all that type of stuff. So I would go to her. She was working in main control, which is like central.
Yeah, the person
they control
who
the doors.
Controls the entire. Yeah, that girl.
Anyway, so I would go to her and be like, "Hey, I'm about to run out, or I'm about to go to the cafeteria. You want some ice? You want some?" She'd be like, "Yeah, I'll take some ice, or I'll take some coffee." So I'll bring it back to her. A few minutes later, the other girl would come up and she'd be like, "Kincaid, Kincaid, you need some ice, or you need something?" And she'd be like, "No, Bishop just brought me something." She's like, "Dang."
She did the same thing. If the girl or whoever else beat her
put me out there like that. Show you
okay, just be clear.
No,
if someone else beat her to the punch of offering me things, they were so childish.
I felt a little.
They need to grow up. But if anybody else offered me anything and she didn't get to do it, she did the same thing. It was dang. It was upset. It was her.
It was more so like, all right, cool. I didn't really show her. I didn't really show you my.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I knew you was upset whenever anybody else done it. I knew you was upset.
True, but I ain't act like her though. She was outward with it. She was like, "Dang it, Kincaid, you only supposed to let me get you stuff." Like, I ain't do all that. I just like,
they were childish, which is so crazy because I don't like people. It's so crazy because I do not like people, and they were so childish. For some reason,
people love her. They just, y'all don't understand.
And I'm mean.
Sour Patch Kid.
That part. But nevertheless, so she kept doing that. So they was bringing me little items and things of that nature. And then one day she decided to ask me, did I want to go to breakfast with her? And I was like, well, no, because I don't like women at all. I don't even like them as people. Just, I don't do them. And so when I said that, she was just like, well, we could just go as friends. Wait, no. We started, okay, so let me backtrack. The car ride. So she didn't have a car
at that time, yep.
So I had a 1992 Toyota Camry. So that girl. So with my car, I was dropping her off at Roosevelt and State, the red line, so she could get home. Mm-hmm. And so when I was dropping her off at home, my apologies, when I was dropping her off at the red line, we would sit out there for 2 and 3 hours having conversations. And that's one thing that gets me is somebody who has a great mind and somebody who thinks and somebody who can actually put together a full sentence. Like, that's crazy to me. So that's how we started. Mm-hmm. We did that for like a month.
Yeah, like a month, almost 2 months. Because
every day.
I'll be real. At first, I was doing it for a specific purpose. Because
she had a master plan.
I had a master plan. We ain't gonna be too graphic, but I was extremely interested in getting her alone. But after having those conversations with her, we used to call them morning talks, and getting to know her and getting to know who she was as a person, how her mind worked, and her emotions and feelings and things that were important to her. I actually became attracted to her in a different way. It wasn't just, the physical, but it was like all this other stuff that I was attracted to. So yeah. And then with that, I was like, I wanted to take her out. And with us working night shift, it was just always easy to be like, let me take you to breakfast instead of let's go out to dinner, So yeah, that's how that was.
Mm-hmm. So you hear she plotted on me. But plot twist, she didn't count on it. So she kept asking me to go out the bride. She kept asking me to go to breakfast with her. And so every time she would ask me, I was like, sure. But every time it came for us to go to breakfast, I would cancel. Each time.
And the crazy part about it was, I would ask her on like a Monday and give her time to prepare and her schedule. and be like, "Hey, you want to go to breakfast like Thursday morning?" Give a couple of days, you know what I mean? Here come Thursday morning. Oh, I gotta stay over time, or I gotta go do this, or I gotta go do this for my dad, or I'm like, bro, every time. And I asked her like what, almost every week.
She was persistent.
I was crying.
She was persistent. Every week.
Bruh.
So finally, I let her take me. And it was cool. We went to a breakfast spot, and I'm like the girls in the movies. I don't really eat the food. I go, I place an order for something light, and I'm going to pick over it. I don't eat like that.
Yeah, she was eating all cute. And I'm like, I'm hungry. I just got off the third shift. I'm starving.
Food. Dogging it. When I say dogging it.
Kind of like I am right now.
That part. But in hindsight, she definitely we had our breakfast, the first one, and it was good. Like it wasn't nothing too it wasn't too much pressure in that moment. It was just us being friends, talking and stuff like that. After that occurred, we started going to breakfast more frequently to the same location too. Let me tell you, there wasn't that much thought into it because we kept going to the same location.
It was just easier.
Let's be clear.
I ain't gonna lie, it was just easier.
No, it wasn't no thought. Maybe it should have put a little more thought in it. I would have been like, okay, cool. It would have went a little quicker. No thought.
Oh, you still got a ring on your finger. Okay. Long game.
I'm gonna let you hide out.
Long game.
I'm gonna let her hide out. So, that was cute. So after the breakfast and things like that, she finally asked me on a real date once she got her real car. I ain't like her car.
Man, look.
I ain't like her car.
I love my 02 Chevy Blazer, my 2-door Chevy Blazer. It was midnight blue. I just got it. And I'm glad that she didn't say nothing about the car until actually I got rid of it like a few years later. But when I found out after I got rid of the car, she was like, I hated your car. And I was like, what? And you was in it like all the time. Like we spent a lot of time in that Chevy Blazer. We spent a lot of time in that Chevy Blazer, boy. I tell you, it took us everywhere. You even borrowed it a few times. Okay. But she hated it. I did. But, I mean, I don't like the purpose of a vehicle is to get from one place to another. So hey, whether you like it or not,
let me tell you why I didn't like it. So for the people in the back, don't get your panties in the bunch. I didn't like the car because first and foremost, she had the cassette.
It was a cassette.
So in my 1992 Toyota Camry, I had like the pop-off radio, and you put it on there, you put the SD, you got a million songs. We great. She had the pop-in CD player. So you pop in the cassette tape, and then you got to flip through this big old CD book that she got right there because the radio didn't really work. It didn't.
It didn't?
No.
Yeah.
Flip through this little CD player, find a CD you want, and it had to be CD that she liked because that's what was in her book, her repertoire. Yep. And then pop the CD in there. Yep. I hated that. Then I hate two-door cars. Two-door cars is not meant for people. They meant for people who don't care about life. That's it. So it was the worst.
Shout out to the people with the two-door cars.
Enjoy your life. I can guarantee you they single by themselves and don't know nobody.
Ooh. Boom. What's that saying, that Tyler Perry movie? Boom.
But nevertheless, so she took me on a date to Bar Louie. She picked me up. She was so excited.
I was so proud.
Excited. But then let me just say, when I was coming down the stairs, right, I wear heels.
Well, you were taller than me? Yeah, she was. How tall were those heels? Like 5 inches?
They were. And they were so high. And so she's only 5 inches.
Where I'm like 5'3", 5'4". Because without your heels, you just like this much taller than me. So quit playing. With your heels, though, that night, it was like I was with Shaquille O'Neal. Like,
factual. So when we walked into so Bar Louie, and she hold, you know how you hold your child's hand? And you
OMG, man.
So we get into Bar Louie. We already look like a mother and daughter because, again, I'm holding her hand. So
would you like a kids menu?
that I'm surprised they didn't say that.
Whatever.
So we get up there, we sit at the bar. First, who takes a date to sit at the bar? Let's be clear. But I'm
I asked you if you were comfortable with sitting at the bar. You
I wasn't, but I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it. You was super nervous. Anywho, she ordered nachos. Now, granted, I ate before I got there because again, I'm not doing that. I'm just
and I'm sitting there like, you want some nachos? You want some nachos? She's like, I have one. Like, I'm like, girl, eat. Like, what do you?
She was dogging them nachos and she dipping them all in the little sour cream. It was messy.
Did we get queso too? No, we ain't got.
It was messy. It was horrible. She didn't care how she looked eating those nachos in front of me. Let's be clear.
Hey, take me as I am.
So after we do that, I don't know what we did after. I can't really remember. But
I think we just like kicked it and just talked.
I don't really remember.
I don't remember either.
A little bit after that, we were still just friends. We wasn't doing nothing. Everything was just cool. We were still friends. Strictly friends.
Mm-hmm.
We were still having our conversations then. Her friend got me terminated.
Nah, bro.
From my job.
No, it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
I told that lady, don't. So, okay. Let's break it down. So, this particular night, Takura wasn't feeling well. And she asked a particular supervisor, can I go home and get my medicine? The particular supervisor was like, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll let you go. Because she was like kind of bad off. So, at first we was even like, I'll drive her, or we could drive her so she can get it and bring it back, because we low-key didn't want her to drive, but she lived like 5 minutes away from the job, so we thought maybe she'd be okay. So she goes home and does not come back. No, bro. When I tell you, I'm sitting on, I think I was on the West Wing. I was sitting on the West Wing. The supervisor comes to me, Bishop. She's panicking. It's only been an hour, 2 hours. Maybe an hour, hour and a half. She is panicking. Bishop, I ain't heard from Kincaid. What you think we should do? I'm like, you the supervisor? So I said, well, let's call her. See what's going on. Let's call her. She's like, I'm gonna have to call the people. I'm gonna have to call the people. And what she meant by calling the people was like administration. And I'm like, well, no, it was only like midnight.
And we get off at freaking
like
7
in the
bro.
Morning. I was like, well, no, don't call them. She was like, but it's an emergency. I said, but don't call them. Let's see if we can get a contact with her first. So I'm calling and leaving messages like back to back to back. I'm like, hey, answer your phone. What's going on? Are you okay? And then so I even asked the lady, I said, do she have a emergency contact? I don't know if she looked it up or not. But we trying to get in contact with her. She's not answering the phone. She's not responding. Bro, this lady come back to me not even a whole half an hour later. I called the bishop. I said, who you call? She said, I had to call him. I said, you did not have to call at this time. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, you did not have to call him. I said, oh my God. I said, this girl about to lose her job.
And
you about to lose your job. Like, bruh, it was so crazy.
That ain't really why they made me lose my job. The reason why they had to really terminate me, and let's be clear, and I want them to know because they know who they is and they know the reason why they did what they did, but it's cool because at the end of the day, flex, big money over here. Anyway, that's not the point. The reason why they terminated me is because prior to that, they had claims that was factual claims that other people were doing things that could have got their company in trouble. And if I would have really opened my mouth about what they were doing, including this one, they all would have been in trouble. And they needed to get me out of there by silencing me, and that's what they did. Because
even during that investigation, I told the truth. Let me tell you
the first or the second one?
The
swipe?
Yeah, the swipe. Yeah, I still told the truth. And let me tell you,
I have voicemail. The original receipts.
Same supervisor.
Messages.
Same supervisor. We on our off day, she calls me and she say, Bishop, panicking all the time. Bishop, they want to pull us in, questioning. What you gonna tell them? The truth. So what you gonna say? The truth? Like I'm not about to tell you what I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna tell what happened. If I was wrong, I was not if, but I mean, you know,
You were
I was,
wrong.
as I said, I was wrong. We're not gonna get into details of what we did.
I went through a lot. They put me through a lot.
But it wasn't like super, super, super bad. It was just, you know.
At any other company, PSA, at any other company,
Yeah. Okay.
the individuals that put me through what I went through would have been terminated.
And I'm surprised they didn't.
But they didn't terminate them.
Yeah.
But also in
they were
your
low-key
defense,
gunning for you though.
but no, in your defense, I also said that I wasn't offended and I didn't take it that way. Because some about these females, especially at that job, they was at my head.
All of them.
Yeah, all of y'all.
No, for real.
For some reason, the females at that job, and then they was all a part of the LGBTQIA community. And I had made it very clear in the beginning, I do not do that. But for some reason, that whole community that was working there was targeting me.
And we wasn't undercover either.
No, they was in the public eye that people were seeing things that they was doing. But instead of the company taking it and assisting me, they wanted to protect the majority.
And that's because
gave me a warning.
And I think that's because too, some of those people in those higher up positions were also part of the community as well.
Oh, definitely and he was.
He was. True. I think she was too, low key. Her stuff came out later. But
no, her stuff came out. She was with the inmates. Let's be clear.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of that going around. That's so sad. But yeah. So I think they were trying to keep things hush hush, and instead of getting rid of all of us, they just focused on her. I mean, they was coming at her head hard. And I even sat back, was like, golly, like what you do, Kincaid? Like you know. And she ended up leaving before I left. You left, what was that, May?
I left in May. But see, the thing, wait, let's not get this twisted either. They told me I was either gonna have to quit or they were gonna fire me.
Yeah, so you resigned?
No. No, I let them fire me.
I thought you had resigned.
Okay. So they told me I had to quit or resign because I was a liability. And I'm a liability because your staff, harassed me and my body parts. But okay. And while I'm saying all this, let me be clear, nobody touched me. Because
I was about to say, please say that.
Nobody touched me. But the things that they were doing was not appropriate for work-life balance.
It's so crazy because the reason why we got in trouble, and this is why I have to explain it.
Because another one of them wanted me.
No, true. Somebody else was interested in her, and they were upset that they weren't a part of the conversation that we were having. And they were the ones that reported all of us having that conversation. So it was out of jealousy.
And I wasn't having a conversation. I was just the subject of the conversation.
And she was laughing and giggling too.
I wasn't giggling hard. I laughed at it because it was funny.
Right.
Especially that part was dead.
So, okay, she keep doing that part. And I'm not going to say everything, but I'm just saying.
Do not say that.
Don't say it.
That's not appropriate. Do not say that.
Okay, I won't say it. Oh, I was about to go in. But anyway, that part. So, I mean, like I said, the other person was jealous. And that's why you have to be careful with sexual harassment, because it's not even about the people that's involved. It's about the people that can be listening. And if they uncomfortable or if they feel a certain type of way, and the lady said it too. She was like, well, I felt like that wasn't right. Them talking about you like that and them da-da-da-da-da-da. And I don't care whether you did whether you thought it was laugh, whether you thought it was funny or not. I didn't appreciate it, and you my friend, and I'ma say something. Because she wasn't pushing the issue at all. It was just like, he, okay, whatever, let's get on with our day, let's get on with our shift.
And when I told administrative that I was not offended and I was A-okay and I wasn't writing any statements about it, from that moment on, it was up.
It was a witch hunt.
It was up. It was up for me.
It was a witch hunt. And which is crazy because coming to find out that I did too. That in particular person who was jealous of what was going on was doing messed up stuff with other people, with inmates.
Don't do that.
Huh?
Don't do that.
I'm just saying. It was wrong. It was wrong. But ultimately, they were upset because they couldn't have you.
Which was crazy.
That's the bottom line.
None of them really could.
That's the bottom line.
None of them really could. But okay, back to the story at hand.
No.
So all that transpired. I leave. And when I leave, she's on my bumper hard about seeing me. But then even though she's on my bumper, she's in a full-fledged relationship with a live-in. Horrible.
Horrible. You had somebody too, but y'all wasn't.
I was in a long-distance situationship that was
situationship. Open. Got you, because that individual proposed to you like several times. Got
You're in our business. Anyway, situationship. A long-distance situationship that I was good. She had a live-in. So she was pursuing me, and I told her, leave me alone until you deal with your live-in. I didn't tell you to go with your live-in. I didn't tell you that.
Hold on now.
Time out. Because we was in a Taco Bell parking lot, and I told you with the cinnamon.
Oh yeah, the cinnamon twist, bruh.
Back to my story.
That was about to be another sad part. Anyway,
we was in the Taco Bell parking lot, and you just had got off work. Yep. And your live-in kept calling your phone, and I said, Dominique, first and foremost, I don't do females. Secondly, I don't do people in a relationship. Go home.
But that's my bad.
I told her to go home.
No, but I take full responsibility. So,
shorty, if you watching, which I know you still do, I saw you.
OMG, bro, don't be.
I really told your girl to go home multiple times.
But again,
multiple nights told her to go home.
Again, I take full responsibility of that because I was childish back in that day, immature. Which, thank God, I am not that anymore. I don't do any of that. I don't condone any of that. It's not cool. It's unhealthy. It's toxic. All of that. But instead of just ending that relationship with that individual, I was trying to find a way out, which I did. But it was bad. You know,
she did not find a way out until things blew up. And then when things blew up, I got petty. And at that point, it was game on for me. And at that point, I'm a different female.
Yeah, some other people got petty too. But you know.
Let me just say this too, real quick. What? You can't expose somebody who don't care. You know what I'm talking about. I know, you know. You can't expose someone who does not care.
Especially if they don't have nothing to lose. Yeah.
And I didn't care.
And didn't have nothing to lose.
So when you expose something that you thought you was exposing, and I still was like, okay.
Right.
Yeah. But then at that point, again,
the gloves was kind of off.
The gloves were off, and instead of me telling her to come home, I did not.
Yeah.
And now she's sitting right here.
But that,
and it's all pettiness right here. Now back to the story, and
that's the mean side. Yeah.
Because I never said that. I kept it cute.
But no, but I do take full responsibility for that.
It was your fault because you was lying.
And again,
you was lying.
I apologize to that individual.
You was lying.
And okay, we get that.
You was lying.
I was lying. Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, you good now?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you were lying.
But again, I apologize to that individual, and I apologize to you for for all of that being so messy and no, but for real. But all that being so messy.
So I was telling her to go home. So I definitely kept telling her to go home because I know she was with someone. And I told her as long as she was with someone, I wasn't going to dibble and dabble with her. That wasn't going to be the situation. After telling her that, Dominique was confused. She did not want to separate herself from the individual that she was with, and she was not going to separate herself from me. So,
I don't think it was that I was confused. I think it was that I didn't have the guts to do what I needed to do. That's what that was.
She was selfish.
Very much so.
That's what that was.
And that's what put us in that situation because I was extremely selfish.
She was extremely selfish. She wanted to move forward with me, but she was afraid because again, I am new to this world. Mm-hmm. And she knew that as long as she kept Shorty at the house, she had a backup plan. And she knew I didn't need a backup plan. We all knew I didn't need a backup plan. Mm-hmm. So that's why she was selfish. But nevertheless, moving forward, she wound up leaving the job.
Oh, yeah.
No, you still was with the individual. she wound up leaving the job.
Yeah.
And then when she left the job, some stuff was happening in her life, and then her and the individual split, and we wound up going out of town to Wisconsin.
Yeah, but we honestly had took a break though, because
me and you, right?
Yeah, me and you had took a break. Okay, yeah, we did, because she was like, I want you to make sure that if you do want to be with me, you want to be with me, and not because of, out of necessity or this, that, and the other. And I understood that. And then too, I was on the same boat, because I was like, I want to make sure I'm fully separated from this individual in order to be with you. And, we're doing it on our own terms and all that type of stuff. But yeah, then after that, that's when we took that trip through Wisconsin.
Nope. Then after that, that's when I went to Miami, in the Miami situation.
Oh.
But I was skipping all that stuff. And I was going straight to what we actually was like, okay, we're going to talk for real, and work on something. Mm-hmm. I skipped all that because I could have went into...
Oh, we don't have, I mean, yeah.
Then Miami.
Yeah.
Miami was real.
So then fast forward to, but thank goodness you was, shall I say, inebriated when we had that conversation. So things went a different way than it could have. But fast forward to February, where we went to Wisconsin dance, and then we hooked up and made things official.
You said that like we just was out here in these streets. You like, we hooked up. We made
not hooked up. Official. Okay, so not
Bro,
hooked up.
Don't play in my face like that.
But not hooked up. So then what you want to say? What you want to call it?
We went to Wisconsin. We kicked it in Wisconsin. Then you was like, you going to be my girlfriend. And I was like, sure, why not? It was.
I said it like that. You going to be my girlfriend. But we know the real story of how it went down. But we won't get into all that. But
you actually be your girlfriend in Wisconsin.
I did. Wisconsin Dells. And
I was like, sure.
Yeah, you said sure. We'll go with that. Okay. You said sure. Sure. So yeah. So fast forward.
Then here's the kicker out. In May, I had applied for a job. In May. But I applied for the job like 18,602 years ago. And in May, the government called me and was like, hey, shorty, we want you, but the way we want you, you have to relocate to Mississippi. Mm-hmm. So for me, it ain't nothing for me to throw my clothes in the trunk and hit the road, Jack. Like, I'm trying to do that now. She don't really want to move. I want to move to Thailand. So anybody out there want to move to Thailand with me, hit me up and I'm out. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. She wanted, so they called me and said they wanted me to relocate to Mississippi. So I called her and I was like, hey, I'm moving. Just like that, I'm moving. And so she was at that time working 2 jobs, and she took off work to help me relocate to Jackson, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And while we was in Jackson, Mississippi, she looked at me after moving me in. She was like, hey, I'm coming back. And I was like, okay. Because for me, when I do these long distance relationships, I'm free game. I do what I want to do. I'm dope. So we good when we together, but when we separated, I'm grown. You do not own me. I do not own you.
Definitely.
Hence why I said I wasn't in a relationship. We was in a situationship. And I think she knew that. And that's why she said she was coming back, because it wasn't even for a month.
Wait, when I was at the bus stop, when we went to, you dropped me off at the bus station to go back home, because I drove down there with her stuff, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I do not want this to be over. Like, I don't. And then you acting out didn't help either, because
don't start lying.
No, I'm not lying. No, you know that's not a lie. But not acting up in a bad way, but
okay,
that's what I'm saying. We was a little bit emotional when I was getting ready to leave. So you wasn't?
Okay.
I'm trying not to put nobody on Front Street. So
you want to?
No.
Okay.
You be fair game, bro. I'm telling you. When it's up, I keep everything. No, but for real though. So when she wanted to drop me off at the bus station, I was about to get on the bus to head back to Chicago. And I was like, oh, man, yeah, I didn't want it to end, because I knew once I got back to Chicago, and me personally, I don't like doing long distance relationships. I like my person to be there with me, like in the same state, possibly in the same city. Like, I want to be able to come to your house, you come to my house, that, vice versa. So I was like, give me 30 days. I said, how do you feel about that? We had a conversation with her, and she was like, she was cool with it. Now, I don't know in that moment if she thought it was going to actually happen, but in that moment, for me, I had already made up my mind.
Okay, so let me just sidebar that too. So everybody know that with these LGBTQIA relationships, they come with the U-Haul truck in the back, right? So for me, when somebody say they finna move, they not. Or uproot their life, they're not. But I will say this, because once we got together in February, she realistically was at my house every day, every single day. And it's all crazy. Remember, I don't know if it was your first day coming to my house.
Mm-hmm.
It was when they had the shootout. Was that the first day?
Yeah, I think so.
So she was south side to her heart, right?
And then it was after you had left the job.
I know.
But before I had left, yeah, I was still working.
She's a true suburban girl, right? She's not from the city at all. So her very first day, and when my daddy first met her, let's be clear,
bruh,
very first day she came over to my house, my downstairs neighbor shot and killed a girl in front of us, and then walked, and then she knew the guy.
I knew him from a previous security job.
He walked past us after he shot the girl, looked up on the porch at us. Looked up in the car at us. We was in the car. We was in the car, and that Chevy Blazer. Looked up in the car at us, and I'm laying back. And I put that shit. I said, you can't look him in the face. He just shot her in the face. And you're going to sit here and look at him, look at you, look at him. No.
It was so wild, though, because earlier he got out his car, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, he looks so familiar. And then I saw his uniform. I said, oh, yeah. I rolled my window down. He like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I said, I see you still working so-and-so. He like, yeah. He said, you ain't. I said, yeah, nah, I've been gone. So he's like, okay, it's good seeing you. I said, cool, good seeing you too. He goes, in the house.
Get the gun.
About, 10, 15 minutes later? And what really tipped us off was when that girl was walking back.
Because he was on a porch. And when he saw her, that's when he went in the house.
He was like mean mugging her.
And then he came back out, walked down the stairs, walked down the street, shot the girl in her face twice, walked back past us, and looked dead in the car. I'm already laid back, baby girl.
He was jogging.
It was not a jog.
It was.
It was not a run either. He did not care.
Bruh.
And Nils was sitting up there like this.
I wasn't doing all that. We just locked eyes.
I bet you he can't tell you the color I had on. Because I was back in, listen, the way I was underneath the car from the inside. Because I know better. She didn't, because she's suburban. That's okay.
She's suburban.
But my daddy looked out the window. And he was like, get in the house.
Yep. And that's the first day we met.
We ran up the stairs.
And then she introduces us. Mind you, he low-key had been peeping us, sitting in the car talking.
He walked past us, and I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, that was something.
That's crazy. She was terrified. Terrified.
And there was a lot that happened that day. I couldn't leave. They had put the police tape around. I was trying to get my car. My car was locked in.
Everything was evident.
Bruh.
We were stuck at the park.
And I literally had to stay there all day until I had to go to work. And I had to have one of my coworkers come pick me up.
In the same little nasty underwear that she had the night before. Then went to work the whole
Thank God for baby wipes.
Shorty kept calling her phone. She almost lost her life out there.
Man.
In the hood. But she still survived. Nevertheless, backtrack. So we go back. So and this story is all over the place. So my bad, y'all. I didn't have a script. She didn't give me a prompter. So we're in. So she comes back to Jackson, and she's knocking on the door, and I let her in, and the rest is history.
Like I was just knocking on the door. Let me. No, she knew I was coming back. She knew my plan. We had talked like every day still.
No, we did talk every day.
I know, but you acting like I just came and knocked on your door like I'm back, like it's a surprise. No, you knew I was coming back. We had talked about it. We had planned. I just needed time to finalize my business and do some other stuff and try to look for a job and all of that. Cause yeah.
So real quick recap and long story short, this is what happened. We met at a job that we was dealing with inmates. I was her trainer. She pursued me heavily. And after pursuing me heavily, we went out on a few dates. We started dating. We took a quick break. After a quick break, we wound up going to Wisconsin, making it official. Her asking me to be her girlfriend. I definitely said sure. And then I relocated to Jackson, Mississippi. And then moments later, like a month later or less, she came and moved to Jackson, Mississippi. Yep. And we've been together ever since. Yep. And that's just realistically what it is. Yep. But throughout that whole entire process, we went through a lot.
we did go through a lot.
We went through a lot.
So now let's talk about what it takes to stay together.
Alcohol. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Alcohol.
Punch a hole in the face.
Getting one quick one off real quick.
No, seriously. A sense of humor.
Definitely.
You gotta laugh at it. Knowing when to say you sorry and to apologize for what you did. Because I was mad at her yesterday. She made me mad yesterday.
Yeah, true.
Real mad. I'm the type of person, when I get mad, it shuts down my whole everything until I can compute what happened to me, right? So I was mad yesterday because I felt a certain type of way. And she was trying to apologize, but at that same moment, that didn't work for me. How my mind works. I'm a true Gemini. Mm-hmm. It don't work.
And she hold on to stuff too.
I do.
But one thing I can say about you is that you've gotten a lot better with letting some things go. Because it used to be we would get into an argument and we would not talk to each other for days. But now we might have an argument in the morning, and by the afternoon we're back talking to one another. So our bounce back game has gotten a lot better. But that's because we've been to counseling. I went to counseling personally, and then we went to couples counseling.
You had to go.
I had to.
Yeah, no choice.
I had to.
It was one of the conditions of our relationship.
No, definitely, because I had some issues. Had a lot of issues. Yeah. Because I'm gonna be real. I had to find love for myself, and if you don't love yourself, it's hard for you to truly love somebody else. And I truly wanted our relationship to work. And then with us being married, I'm like, I really want this marriage to work, because growing up, my parents weren't married. My dad left when I was young. And I didn't really see too many, happy relationships in my family. It was a couple sprinkled in there, but the majority, got together, divorced, or unhappily married, or all that type of stuff, or one is stressed out while the other one is being held, so I was like, I want to get married one time and that be the all in all. And she had the same goal because she's seen some of the same things, so we really truly wanted to work on this, and we want to set an example and break a generational curse, and really be steadfast in our relationship. So that's why we're working so hard towards making this relationship work. Doing everything to meditation. We do tantric breathing exercises.
Meditation. You said that already?
Yeah, meditation, tantric breathing exercises.
We
write
date
letters to each other. Yeah, we date each other.
So I'm big on finding stuff for us to do together. Mm-hmm. One of my old coworkers at my baby, Michelle, she took us to the first game, to the WNBA game, which opened my eyes to that world, because I always thought that the WNBA games and the NBA games were so expensive. They are now. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, these new
but before, tickets to the WNBA game and you could sit courtside was $40. Well, that's if you sit in the back. If you sit in the back, it was $15. If you sit in the front, it was $40. So we can do that. So we started going to the games. We started going to soccer. We started going to concerts. Mm-hmm. We started doing things together and dating each other. Yes. Yeah. We started finding little things outside of just going to a bar, things like that. We did the Rage Room, which was very, very good. Wow. And then I'm an intellectual person. So my what's the rooms?
Escape rooms. We do a
I'm
lot
an
of
escape room junkie because I feel like nothing could beat me, and if I put my mind to it, I'm gonna succeed. So that's my thing.
What's our record? Unfortunately,
I think we did 2 out of all the escape rooms we did, and we did quite a few.
Yeah,
we
I think
took down 2 locations of all they escape rooms, but I think we only escaped 2.
Yeah, successfully with like time left, like minutes to spare. But no,
it's because of who my partner is.
Now, if that escape room is a little scary, I'm done. Because I'm not putting my hand through
Let
nothing.
me tell y'all
I'm not.
what happened to me. I took my little sister, Brianna. I'm going to say names. Brianna. This one, Dominique. We went to an escape room. And it was somebody else that went with us.
It was just us 3.
Oh, well, we was there, and it was a scary escape room.
It was a poltergeist or a ghost.
I don't know what it was, but it was a haunted escape room.
Yeah.
And we had to take our hand and stick it down. You know the vent that's on the wall? We had to pop the vent off and stick our hand in there and pull the cord down get another key.
Ain't no way.
And things was dropping around us. Things was making all this noise.
They was banging on the walls.
And I was wearing nails at that time. I love nails. So I was wearing nails. I can't wear them for my employee now, but I had long nails. Something fell in the room. Brianna and her, the way they jumped on me, like I'm gonna protect them, jumped on me, wound up breaking 2 of my nails.
Man.
To the meat. Like bent them all the way back to the meat.
So sorry. And I think we wasted almost half of our time
jumping and scared.
No, but not just that. Trying to figure out who was gonna put that arm in that hole because she didn't want to do it either.
But I did it.
You had to. You ain't had no choice because we was like, okay, time running out to queer. What we gonna do?
And then Brianna,
me and Brianna both we knew we wasn't gonna do it.
Brianna said, "Sounded just like my mama." She was like, "Well, we can just go."
Like we can hit the button, hit the escape button. We're done. We're done. Let us out, please. But yeah, it is important to date your spouse, to date your partner. You have to keep
and travel.
The romance alive and travel. And then intimacy is a big part as well. And it's it's so many different ways you can be intimate with somebody. Like look that up for real. Putting your phones away. You know, making sure you're paying attention to your partner and your partner's paying attention to you. Like be in tune with one another. When you go in that bed at night, you know, you don't necessarily scroll your phone, have pillow talk, or you know, y'all have conversations, meditate, try to go to sleep. What? Yeah, we got to work on that.
Okay,
we got to work on that. But
hot kettle black. What?
But I'm just saying, those are some things that can help
because we
have. Yeah, it is. And then like with both of us, where I know her job is very stressful.
Her job just became stressful.
It just became stressful, yeah.
And then she has her business, I have my business. So that's another thing, which is navigating having full-time jobs, both parties, having businesses for both parties, and then wanting to be one with each other. That's a thing that you do have to navigate.
So that's why you have to make sure you carve out that time. And if you like, we have calendars that we plan like each quarter. Mm-hmm. And if you have to literally sit down and say, okay, Fridays or this day or every Saturday we're going to do this, or every other Saturday we're going to do this, or we're going to make sure we carve out time. You have to carve out time for you and your partner to reconnect.
Or even do Sunday fun days, because remember we were doing Sunday fun days, and you can just make that an all-day thing, so it don't even have to be like every single day you're doing something. Just one day, you know that you can't make plans with nobody else, because that's a thing. You have to. This is your spouse's day, which is Sunday,
and it gives you something to look forward to. Whenever you have something to look forward to, it just makes the weekend even more sweeter. Or you know, whatever day y'all decide to do something on. It just makes everything that you're going through at work, you know, you could think about that. Oh, yeah, Thursday night, you know, me and my lady or me and my guy going out, or we about to do this. You know, it helps with anticipation and keeping things fresh and keeping things new. So that's extremely important. And doing that stuff has truly helped us. What's your question, love?
So if you could give people one word of advice to having a successful relationship or to getting a female? What would it be?
Honestly, not just to get a female, but to have a successful. But to have a successful relationship, I think patience. You have to have patience, and the reason why I say you have to have patience is because when you're meeting with somebody or meeting somebody new or what have you, that other individual may have some triggers that you don't know about. You may not find out about it until something happens. There might be some emotional things going on, or you never know. But you have to allow people time and space to work through things, and just be there for them lovingly. So you can't pressure your partner. It's like, well, why won't you change? Or da, 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 da. Like, well, figure out what's the deeper reason, or why are they triggered, or what's going on.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I say, what's yours?
Before I say mine, people change for who they want to change for. So I don't believe in being naive to certain things. If your person is study showing you who they are, maybe it's time for you to change your person.
True.
Period. So that means if she keeps showing me who she is, she gotta go.
And it's not working for her.
It gotta go. But you could also, say, hey, for me, I need you to look into some therapy or look into some things that's gonna be better for you, so that way you could be better for us. But those are things that y'all have to do on your own to figure out what it is for y'all. But for me, the advice I would give is communication. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to. I'm an introvert with extrovert qualities. Mm-hmm. People like me, I typically don't like people. I like sitting on this couch. I ain't gonna hold you. Sitting on this couch,
I gotta pull her out TV, sometimes.
I'm good.
If you would like to catch the ending of this conversation, tune in to next week's episode of Love and Happiness Part 2. Remember, your crown may be tilted, but never let it fall. Peace and love. Mantle Motivation. Nothing less, I bet I get